people because Babylon now instill malicious and grudge upon my people now. You see the dirty lifestyle, the rest of man about it. There's nothing in them system of which they create all around. And they criticize their own children, yeah, they would catch at a straw if they were to drown. They're not different from those scrolls and Pharisees who come around. They lurks in the corners, skylarks on the streets, flirts in the towns. They never do positive. They find a joy making people business around. Dance a yard before you dance abroad. The high priest tell you that I knew them from God and go get good ways. True grace, of the perch we pass a young gate. You have the good ways, it give you long days. Now take no bribe from not a true face. Go get good ways, good grace. Perch we pass a young gate. You have some good ways, it give you long days. What do you say? I tell you now, they await your downfall. Figure lava hunter. Yo, what is that? Greater joy, I come, miss on you, a figure. Have a lucky job, won't fill off. When Babylon City, I got down propaganda, where them spread becomes a dagger to them heart. Things say them have a secret. The baby reveal it, so them a walk witchcraft out. So them better, so them a close in. Contempt the youth, them where they pass. Every man is equal. Rastafari say, try not on the ungodly part. God and go get a good ways. Long days, birds be pass a young gate. What about your good ways? It give you length of days. Yo, know you taste how you medicine they taste. Yeah, what? Hey, what's them now? I thought about them this, them that. Who slick from who flap? Hey, them some ass Joe Bush and anything else. When we come and must be rubbish and trash. Hey, every day that them practice. The same thing they never yet to know when to stop. Full up a bad mind. Then I want make you want to see your brother drop. Go and have some good ways. True grace. First before you pass, I and get go and have some good ways. It give you long days. Now them chase out them medicine that taste. Good ways. Long days. Now let go King Selassie, you no screw face. Good ways. It give you length of days. Now take no bribe from no screw face. Just have some good ways. It give you length of days. This I want a true face. I tell you now, there's nothing in the system that they'll create around. They criticize their own hygiene, yet they would catch at us more if they were to drown. Don't you see they're not much different from the scribes and the Pharisees who come around, yeah.
Great one of our national artist, the silky one, Garnet Silk.
Oh, Jah, here I answer to your cry. Yeah. Bless me, mighty Jah, bless me, so that they can curse me. Bless me, mighty Jah, bless me, yeah. Bless me, mighty Jah, bless me, so that they can curse me. Bless me, mighty Jah, bless me. Ooh, I'm in the midst of strangers, oh Lord. Strangers without love and mercy. Strangers without dignity. Strangers who don't want to live in harmony. Bless me, mighty Jah, bless me, so that they can curse me. Bless me, mighty Jah, bless me. Bless me, mighty Jah, bless me, so that they can curse me. Bless me, mighty Jah, bless me, yeah. Although they have dug their pit and are waiting to see me fall in it. Yes, they've got great power, so without your help, I know I suffer. Hear me while I call on you and help me to conquer. Only you are fair. Be with me everywhere. They're trying to see me fall, but with you, Jah, I stand tall. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Bless me. Oh, Jah, bless me. Bless me, mighty Jah, Jah, bless me, so that they can curse me. Bless me, mighty Jah, Jah, bless me. Yeah.
Garnet
Why
Silk.
should a man choose to live his life this way? Yeah. All you wanna do is fuss and fight every day. Each day you get up, you fuss and quarrel. Oh Lord, dumping your brothers in deep waters and barrels. Sisters informing and sisters, sons murdering mothers. Fathers hate to
Wow.
see the very sight of their own children. Bless me, mighty Jah, Jah, bless me, so that they can curse me. Bless me, mighty Jah, Jah, bless me. Yeah. Ooh-wee. Bless me, mighty Jah, Jah, bless me, so that they can curse me. Bless me, mighty Jah, Jah, bless me, yeah, yeah. Bless me, mighty Jah, Jah, bless me. I'm in the midst of strangers.
And, you know, unfortunately, it is too much of a reality that the lyrics that Garnet Silk is saying about, you know, parents not even wanting to see the sight of their own children. And unfortunately, that is a reality. Yes, in some places. Good evening, everyone. And welcome to another episode of Diaspora Connection featuring Kabbalah for Jamaicans. My name is Joshua. We're here every Tuesday and Wednesday night, 8 to 10 p.m. on Tuesday and Wednesday, and on on Sunday and Tuesday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, we present a 30-minute Zohar reading. The Zohar is the principal text of Kabbalah. This program is designed to expose our fellow Jamaicans with the teachings of Kabbalah. Kabbalah is based on the teachings of the Old Testament. It is based primarily on the 5 books of Moses, the Torah. And the Zohar is a compilation of conversations between rabbis, very highly elevated rabbis, the main one being Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, that is said to be a reincarnation of Moses, had a very strong spark of the soul of Moses. These conversations help to reveal the secrets hidden deep within the Torah, within the 5 books of Moses: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. The Zohar can be found online at www.zohar.com. That's zohar.com, zohar.com, where you can see the full text of the Zohar in Aramaic and in English, with commentary, synopsis, and relevance. We invite you to join us on Sunday night and Tuesday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern to hear the words of the Zohar spoken in Aramaic and in English. It is magical. The words of Zohar are designed to transform our DNA. The Hebrew letters are uniquely designed to transmit light force energy from the Creator. And when it is infused with the wisdom of the Torah, it is transformative. It helps us to transform our evil inclination and support our good inclination. And that's what these teachers are designed to do, to give you tools to fight against the evil inclination and strengthen your good inclination and make the world the paradise it was intended to be. That is our mission here. And as Paul indicated in Romans 8:19, for all creation is waiting for the manifestation of the sons of God. Who are the sons of God? As stated in the Zohar, portion Behar, chapters 13 and 14, the sons of God are those who study the Kabbalah, those who get to know the secrets of the Creator, how the world is designed, and how to show mankind how to live so that the world will reveal the paradise it is. It is because of man's actions why the world does not reveal its perfection. Nature does not reveal its perfection because of man's actions. So the wisdom of Kabbalah is coming forth in a very strong way these days because this is what mankind needs. It is the most powerful tool given to mankind to fight against the evil inclination, to tame and to transform the evil inclination, and to make the world the paradise it was intended to be. That is why we're here, to give our fellow Jamaicans an avenue to learn this wisdom, which is our birthright. Our birthright. So again, I want to welcome our listeners this evening, Brother Paul, Sister Myrtle, Sister Denise, welcome back again. And we're going to continue our study on the 72 names of God that I introduced last night. It's a series of 3 lectures, and here are some of the lesson highlights. The miracle of the parting of the Red Sea was first released in the portion Beshelach, which is Exodus chapters 17 through about 20. In fact, chapter 14, chapter 14 verses 19, 20, and 21 are the 3 verses that make up the 72 names of God chart. And you will see this in this lecture. So again, here are the highlights. You can take a screenshot if you'd like. Not sharing. Yes. So here we go. All right. Let me just read this here before we go on. Okay. Yeah, we'll just go through the lesson highlights here so that you have a perspective of what you're going to listen to. And Brother Paul, I know you're big on the 72 names.
Yes, Brother Joshua.
I know you're big on the 72 names.
Oh yeah, man. For real.
So,
use them up every day, man.
Yeah, so you're gonna find this very interesting.
Yeah, man, find it very, very interesting, man.
Yes. So it says here, miracles occur when we use spiritual tools such as the 72 names of God, in addition to our physical effort to transform our reactive nature. The 72 names of God contain the 3-column system. Now, for those such as yourself, Denise, who might be new to the teachings, the 3-column system is integral to the teachings of Kabbalah because it's all about energy. And 3 columns create balance. You have right, left, and central column. Right column being mercy, love, long-suffering. Left column being severity, strength, boundaries, discipline. and central column is the medium between the two, because there are times when you need to mix both. The energy of the 72 names of God gives vitality to our entire being once we start to learn how to use them. Each one of the 72 can be used for a different thing, such as purification of water, or healing, or cleansing of your negative energy, or speaking the right words, right? All these types of things for sustenance. It is highly recommended to scan and meditate on the 72 names of God every day. Yeah? Every day. Each combination has specific energy that gives us the strength to overcome challenges. There's always a solution, even in the darkest times when everything seems lost. That's another very integral teaching in Kabbalah. Anything can be changed. It's just whether or not you have the power to do it. And these teachings help us to awaken that power within us and how to communicate with it and how to use it. It says everything that happens in our life, it is as it should be. And it is always filled with great mercy. So no matter what I go on, yeah, it can always be worse. Let's always remember that. Understanding that everything is always good because it comes from the light. Again, a very integral teaching of Kabbalah. That it's only when you label something as bad, it becomes bad. Because I know we know the scripture, all things work together for good for they that trust God. So, if we believe that everything is coming from the light, then we have to meds the situation. We have to really pre-wagwan. Look into it. There's got to be deeper things going on, always. Nothing is ever as it seems. Another integral teaching of Kabbalah. A lesson description. This lesson explains that the Hebrew letters are openings of light, building blocks that are a part of our spiritual DNA. In fact, the Zohar tells us that the Hebrew letters are the DNA of creation, because before the Creator made anything, He made the 22 Hebrew letters. And then He made the Torah. And then He looked inside the Torah and made creation. So when Christians say how Jesus was with God in the beginning, yeah, maybe His soul was there because we were all there, right? But not Jesus the person, to make Him seem like Him was there in the beginning. No, the Torah was there in the beginning. The Torah. And before the Torah was the letters. So here, the more we develop an appreciation for the letters, is the more they'll work for us, and the more we'll be able to connect to their power and their energy. It says that these are powerful energy channels. They're coded in the chart of the 72 names of God. And our teacher, in this lecture, Rachel Madera, she explores in depth how 72 names of God were formatted and how they help us to create miracles in our life. About this course, the 72 names of God are not names in an ordinary sense. They represent a connection to the infinite spiritual current that flows through our realities. The ancient Kabbalist Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai wrote in the Zohar that it was Moses, not the Creator, who parted the Red Sea, allowing the Israelites to narrowly escape Pharaoh and the Egyptian army. In order to accomplish this miracle, Moses combined the power of certainty with the formula of the 72 names of God, giving him access to a higher cosmic power. This course delves deep into Kabbalistic wisdom, helping us to understand the origin, the purpose, and the power of the 72 names of God to awaken the tremendous light we all hold within ourselves. That is what we're about to embark on. And there are 3 classes. Okay? So let's start the first one and see if we get to the second one. We should. And so then is it hour.
And hello everyone, and welcome back to Defining Consciousness. I'm so excited actually in this session to start 3 parts of talking, learning, going deep in the knowledge of the 72 names of God. Personally, it's my passion and it's my excitement, and it has been for many years for me investigating what is it exactly, the 72 names, the power of the alphabet, and how we can apply it into our life. But for this part and next part, just I wanted you to understand even more, to connect more to the essence of the 72 names. Again, how it has been formed, who used it before, in what way, how it can apply into our life. It's exciting, and I think we just let's start, right? It's very interesting that each one of us really wanted to know how we manifest in our life in the best way that it can be, how we can create miracles and wonders, how we can change, if it's possible to change the fate, how we can learn to the concept that it's called mind over matter. And here we have the power of the 72 names, the 72 combination, that each combination contains 3 letters, and we will see it in the next slide. We'll see the chart of the 72 name. You see that we have 72 combinations again, each combination 3 letters. Together it's 216 letters that formatting this chart. And we will learn shortly how it came about that we have this chart, which historical event opened up the channel for all of us to connect to the light of the 72 names. It's very powerful. But before we see the letters, and the letters are the Hebrew alphabet. The Hebrew alphabet are so important also to study that, but we'll start in Book of Formation. It's a book that Abraham the Patriarch opened up and shared various information about the stars and astrology and the power of the Hebrew letters, how they have, through the Hebrew letters, the world has been created, and through the Hebrew letters, each month has been created, and basically each letter, if we look at it, it's kind of by itself, it's a form of energy. When we combine them together, different frequency, each letter has a different frequency. When we combine it together, it's created an amazing frequency of energy. And in part 3 of this course, we will go into one by one of the combination, and we'll explain it even more thoroughly. Every person can connect to energies, to different energies that have created our soul, and they're called building blocks that really created our soul. And the same building blocks is the base for our world. This is how our world has been created. And the building blocks, those are the Hebrew alphabet. We are watching through our eyes, we are looking through our eyes, and because the eyes is the opening to our soul, is the gate to our soul, for us, by looking through our eyes, looking into the Hebrew letters, already has an effect on us. And this is just the beginning of understanding of how we're going to use the 72 name, okay? Because what it is, the power of the letters is, and the letter in Hebrew, it's called ot. Ot in Hebrew, it's called, it's letter. And ot is also another word when we use the word miracles, like ototu muftim, something miraculous. So it's interesting that it has the same understanding. It has the same vibration. Ot. It's not just a simple letter. It's a gate that it opens to us for creating miracles in our life. It's very, very powerful. We can see the letters in the next slide. And when we talk in yes, here what I'm showing you, it's basically the word ivrit in Hebrew is la'avor, comes from the word la'avor, is to move past it or to move forward or to transform. So when we use the Hebrew letters, basically it's allowing us to move from one level to the other, from jumping from one consciousness level to the next consciousness level. And we'll see that in this, we can see that understanding that the Hebrew letters are the DNA of our soul. So we called them earlier building blocks, but when we see the whole 22 letters are the 22 power of creation, okay? This is the power of the Hebrew letters, the power that they create our world and we can create our reality. There is a phrase that it says in Hebrew, and probably we all know it. It's magic word. It's called, when we say abracadabra, right? Abracadabra. Abra, it's like adaber, it's speak. I'm sorry, it's like evra, like I will create. Abra, evra, I will create. Kadabra, as I'm talking, kedibur, medaber, which means I can create my world with words and with the letters, okay? So this is the understanding about the letters. And we can see in the next slide what Abraham the Patriarch wrote in page 75 in the Book of Formation, and it says, 22 אותיות, the 22 letters, חקקן, חצבן, שקלן והמירן, צרפן, וצר בהם נפש כל ונפש כל העתיד לצור. Which means the Creator took those 22 letters, 22 DNA of the soul, 22 building blocks, and created with it everything that exists in the world. From the world itself, the letter Bet, the second letter from the Hebrew, from the 22 letters, the letter Bet has created the world. This is why the whole Torah, the book, the Bible start with the word Bereshit, with the letter Bet, because this is how it starts. This is how the world has been created. And what we understand that when we use in words and letters, there are the tools to create in a word. And Abraham the Patriarch, as we already saw, he showed us and revealed to us the power of the Hebrew language that can really help us to move and transfer from one level of consciousness to another level of consciousness. And when we talk about the 72 names, as we saw, it's used the Hebrew letters besides one letter. There are 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet, but there are only 21 letters that has been used in the chart of the 72 names, and there's one letter missing, which is the letter Gimel. Gimel comes from the word Ga'ava, which is pride, which is ego. And the Kabbalists are explaining when we're doing our spiritual work, When we connect, we want to connect to the light that is within. When we want to connect to the light of the Creator, we need to remove the ego from the conversation. We need to move the ego from our spiritual work. We need to transfer the ego from a positive one to a powerful one. So this is why it cannot exist in the chart of the 72 names. So let's understand when the first time that we get to know and hear about the 72 name in the Bible. I must say something that we've learned from Rabbi Berg about, when we read, especially in the book of Beshelach, which is first time that we can really identify anything about the 72 name through a story that's happening in the portion of Beshelach. Rabbi Berg always told us that, the stories of the Bible, there are stories of the Bible, and definitely we'll talk about that story, but it's a story, it's code. It's coded, and there are information behind it that can really, we can apply it into our life and understand much more about the power of this creation of the world and the creation of humankind. And the story talks about the story that has been made movies about this, and it's a story that we have been repeatedly sharing with you as a lesson for all of us if we want to really to connect to the light of miracles, if we want to create a different reality in our life. We share that story. And we talking about the story of the splitting of the Red Sea, that it's mentioned in the book of Shmot in the portion of Beshelach. So Rav Berg shared that the only reason that there was a revelation of the Zohar in our generation is that the 72 name, the power of the 72 name of God will be revealed to humankind in our generation. So the first time that we see any commentary and any understanding that it's even exists, the 72 name, was from the Zohar, written over 2,000 years ago for the portion of Beshelach. So let's go back to just the story. What was the story? The story talks about the Israelite live in Egypt. They are in their third day. They moving along, and what they see is this situation. In front of them, they reaching the Dead Sea. And behind them, they see the soldiers of Pharaoh and Pharaoh himself running to catch them, because Pharaoh at that time decided that he probably made a mistake to release them, and he chasing them to catch them. And there's a situation that the Israelites are standing in front of the Red Sea, and the pharaohs and the soldiers behind them, and they're stuck. They do not understand what's going on. They're like on the way, left slavery in the path to freedom and redemption, and they completely lost it. It's actually, if we'll bring it to our life, there are always moments in our life, right, that we are facing in such challenging and difficult reality when we do not have a solution, where something we worked on doesn't work, and this was the only way that we saw that our life can work, whether it's like a business where we really invested in that business and we followed a different direction, and this is the only way we saw, and suddenly something is happening. There's like something is closing us. The bank doesn't want to give the money to invest. The investors who wanted to invest left the plan. We lost our job. How are we going to pay the mortgage? How are we going to pay the rent? Situation like this that we feel we get to a dead end and we have no solution, because behind us we have people who are pushing, and we feel pressure. We feel pressure from the family. We feel pressure from the bank. We feel pressure from maybe our relationship. We feel pressure from ourselves that what are we going to do? Right? So the Israelite, we're feeling trapped. What are we going to do? We're going to die. So what's going on? And that moment, they screamed to the Creator. And they scream to the Creator to receive help from the Creator. And there's an amazing phrase that there's so much to learn about from just the answer of the Creator that we see on the next slide. The Matitzak Elai. So the Creator telling Moses to the Israelite, why are you crying to me? Why are you shouting to me? And we can interpret it in many ways, just that particular sentence. But when it's come to the 72 names, the Creator tells the Israelite, why are you shouting to me? You have all the tools to depart that sea. You have all the tools to create miracles. You have all the tools to use in order for you to create your new reality. Even if it seems blocked, even if it seems dark, even if it seems that there is no solution, there is solution, and there are tools, and the 72 names are the tools that I gave you already, and you already know. So this was the first time ever in this portion of Beshelach that the tools have been, the 72 names or the tools have been revealed. And as I said earlier, through the Zohar in portion of Beshelach that you're all welcome to read. I'm so excited. It's so powerful to know that because we can use the 72 name to really alter our reality, to use it in a form of the same lessons that the Rav kept teaching us over and over and over again, that it's all come to mind over matter. The opportunity to connect through those Hebrew letters, through those combinations, to jump into another reality, to connect us to the reality of the tree of life. And just to understand that level of connection that we can reach, it's in a portion of Beshelach in verse 100 and it starts from actually 89 and on, but in verse 180 it talks about Dikana Kadisha, which is it's a level in the Kabbalistic information knowledge. It's a level that from there we draw the power to miracles and wonders into our life. So by using the 72 names, we actually connect to the Dikana Kadisha, and it's very interesting. So let's see how it's being formatted. When the Creator told the Israelite, Matitzak Elai, why are you shouting to me? Let's see how the information has been revealed again to the Israelite. So we can see it in the next slide. What we see here is the Zohar of Beshelach, how it's really been laid out for us with a chart. But let's see really how does it work, okay? I'm going to the next slide. And the one. So it starts with the following sentence, the following verse in Beshelach, Vayomar Hashem el Moshe, Ine anochi ba elecha be'av ve'anan. Here I come to you, be'av, av in Hebrew, ayin bet, the letters ayin bet is 72. And anan, it's a cloud. So I'm coming to you and we're opening that channel now to all humanity to use the power of the 72 names. And following that, we'll see in the next slide, basically the three sentences that mentioned in Beshelach, the three sentences that we'll see how the chart is being formatted. Okay, so the first sentence is Vayisa Malach Elokim, then we have Vayavo ben Machane Mitzrayim, and the third one starts with Vayat Moshe et Yado. In general, if we look at the sentences, we see that each sentence starts Vayisa, Vayavo, Vayet. It starts with movement. Vayisa is traveling. Vayavo he came. Vayet, he raised his hand. Moses raised his hand. basically what's its indication, even for us, just I'm opening kind of understanding on that. When we come to do our spiritual work, we have the ability and the free will to choose how we're doing it, but the recommendation is to use the 99% and the 1% to create a whole, to create 100%, right? What does it mean? To use physical tools and spiritual tools. When we talk about the spiritual tools, we're talking about the 72 names, that are spiritual, amazing, powerful spiritual tools, but which we even elaborate even more and more. And practically, the practical tools, when we talk about spiritual work, is we need to be in movement. We need to earn the light by movement. We cannot just rest and think that everything will come to us. We need to create. We need to put effort in. So when he talks about Vaisa, Vayavo, like he traveled, he came, he raised his hand, it's for us, we need to be in action. Any form of action and motivation, that to use our desire and restriction and so forth, that is a combination of physical tools and spiritual tools. So I'm going to show you right now in the following slide how the chart has been formatted. So we're looking right now at the first verse. Vaisa Malach Elokim. If you look at this verse, and this verse is coming from, like the way it's been formatted, it's from right to left, which means if we'll see the letter Vav, the first letter of the sentence, we see that it's actually, you will see it in the first Vav Hey Vav, which is the first combination of the right hand side of the chart. Okay, the first right hand side of the chart, you see the same letter Vav and Vav, which means each combination from the 72 name, the right one, the right side of each combination comes from the sentence, from the first sentence of Vaisa Malach Elokim. Like if you scan it from right to left, top to bottom, you see that the first letter of each combination, it comes from the letters that being presented here on this verse from the 72 name. Okay? I wanted to just mention another thing, that every verse has 72 words, and it's the first time and ever, the only time that in the Bible that you will see three sentences following one another, three verses following one another, that has the 72 words in it, in that verse. Okay? If we'll go to the next slide, you will see that we going into the second verse. And the second verse, in the same way that it has been formatted the first one, we'll look at the left to right, bottom to top. So we'll see again the Vav, the first letter in the verse. If we look in the central letter in the 72 name combination, we'll see it's mentioned there. So Vav, and you will see the Yud, and you will see the Bet, and you will see Aleph, which means if you will look again, if you scan from the bottom of the chart, going top from left to right, in the central letter of each combination, it's coming from the second verse that is mentioned in the book of Beshelach. Okay? And if we go to the third verse, which is in the following slide, you will see it, we're coming back again. We scan it from right to left, but now these letters are being embodied into the chart. You will see the left column, if I may say, the left, the third letter or the left side of the combination comes from the sentence of Vayet Moshe, and you will see that each letter is indicated there in the chart. So what do we see here? First of all, we see that there are 3 verses in the portion of Beshelach that explaining how, literally how the Israelite went out and split the Red Sea. But what the Zohar is explaining, it's not just the literal splitting of the Red Sea, it's actual the using the energy of those 72 names combination, that if we will we'll see how the chart is being formatted. So it starts with the first sentence that goes from right to left, top to bottom. The second sentence forming the middle, the central letters combination from bottom to top. And now we see the third sentence that is relating to the left letter of each combination. So you see that you have 3 sentences, and we said 3 letters. The number 3 keep repeating itself in the knowledge of Kabbalah because it's really referred to the 3-column system. The 3-column system, we have the right column, we have the left column, and the central column, right? The right column is mercy, it's the compassion, it's the love, and left column is the receiving aspect, is our desire, is our motivation, and the central column is balancing both forces. And we see how it's being applied here with the 72 name. When we go back to the slide, we'll see how the 3 verses actually formatted the chart. But it's very powerful. Remember, I spoke with you about the power of the letter and the letter Bet, the letter Bet that created the world. We see that each sentence starts with the letter Vav, right? The letter Vav. There are 3 Vavs that when you put them together, it's actually creating the letter Bet, which is Bet is bracha, is blessing, but most than that, it's showing us how the 72 names are being part of the seed level of creation of the world. This is very, very powerful. Maybe we can go and see just the chart again of the 72 name, if we can see. Yeah, this is the chart. And what we see here, the 72 is the numerical value of the word chesed in Hebrew, which is mercy. What we learn already, that the power of the 72 name that has been a part of the seed level of creation of the world has been created with mercy. The world has been created with mercy, so everything in our life, the way we should behave, when we say act like the light, we need, by us wanted to draw light into our life, obviously we want to connect to blessings. How? By acting like the light. And when we scan, it's one way of using the 72 name is to scan the combination letters from right to left, top to bottom. We connect to the energy of mercy that exists in the world to really adopt it into our life, that we will act with mercy in every area in our life. I wanted to show you more of the power of the 72 name, and I wanted to read for you from different sections from the Zohar, just to give us more depth and more awe for the 72 name. So when we spoke about the sentences right now, the verses, right now, there's a article in the portion of Behalutcha, and it talks about the verses that I'm just talking, and it says that the first verse, and it's Persian Behalutcha, and there are different verses, and I'm looking at verse 34 and on, okay, in portion of Behalutcha, and it talks about the first verse, which is Vaisa Malach Elokim, and what the Zohar is explaining, that this verse relates to the energy of Abraham. And it says here, Kanit atar Avraham shu chesed, which means it's the energy of Abraham, that during the day, when we take בדרך יושר ללכת ביום, דהיינו בחסד, which means for us connecting to the light of the Creator, for us connecting to our gifts and to our essence and to our soul, it's like as if you walk in the day when the light when the sun is shining, when it's bright. It's really when you go with certainty that everything that's happening into our life, it's exactly what it's supposed to be. Everything that's happening into our life, happening in our life, it comes with mercy. Every challenge that we call it a challenge is actually not a challenge. It's a precise plan that of our life to support us, to reveal more of our essence. So, and when we connect with the first verse, connects us to the power of mercy of Abraham. And then he talks about the second verse in verse 36. And it says, ונמצא גם כן בעין בית האותיות, להימצא בדין אל מצרים, which means the second verse correspond to the energy of Isaac, which is the left column consciousness, which is maybe judgment. It talks about desire. So this is the second verse as the energy of Isaac. And the third verse is and it continues and it talks about the third verse, which is the central column, talks about correspond to the energy of Jacob, which is energy of central column, energy of balance in our life. So as we scan the 72 name, or we'll use this as meditation, which I'll explain later in different types of meditations, and there's more how we can use the 72 names. So no matter how we connect to it, we connect to basically to the 3-column system. Therefore, we connect to the completed me that exists, to the higher me, to the best version of who I am. This is when we're using the 72 names. In the prologue to the Zohar, volume number 1, there's an amazing story that gives us more of understanding what is the really power of the 72 names. And there's a story that it talks about a young kid that was playing in the field. And his mom was working in the field, and the young kid was playing there. And his mom, as she was picking up the fruit or whatever she was working on in the field, she see her son is falling on the earth, and she is running towards him. As she runs towards him, she realized that he passed away. He just fell and died on the grass. And the kid's name is Chavakuk, and his mom's name is called here. His name is Aisha Shunamit, the Shunamit woman. And as she saw it, as she saw her son, she picked him up, she held him, and she ran to the person that at that time was the high priest, the person that everyone went to him for an advice, and the person that was the channel of the light of the Creator for the community, and his name was Elisha Navi, okay, the prophet Elisha. And she ran to him because she was certain that Elisha, the prophet Elisha, will actually revive her son. He will bring him back to life. So with that certainty, which is another indication for us when we're doing our spiritual work, is connecting to the certainty of tree of life, that everything is good, everything is precise, as we already mentioned. So I want to read some from that story, and we'll see what Elisha has done with Habakkuk. So, and it says here, ועתה שאלישע חיבק אותו, and Elisha, the prophet Elisha, hugged him, and חקק בו כל האותיות שבעין בית שמות. It says that when Elisha hugged him, it says that he put his mouth to mouth, like he's giving him like first aid type of a thing, right? So he put mouth to mouth, and in some interpretation, like he kissed him. But what he did basically, he injected, he was naming, he was calling, he was saying the letters of the 72 names. He was literally saying them, like as we saw earlier in the chart, like Vav, Hey, Vav, Yud, Lamed, Yud. He was really injecting the letters into Habakkuk, okay? Into Habakkuk, and he says, חקק בו כל אלו האותיות, והאותיות החקוקות של אלו עין בית שמות, הם 216 אותיות. Like, and he injected the energy of the 216 letters that exist in the chart of the 72 names. And what it is, as he was doing that, it says that כי אלישע החיה את בן השונמית. By injecting the letters into the mouth, into the soul of Habakkuk, he revived him and he brought him back to life. Oh, it's so powerful. וכל האותיות האלו חקק אלישע ברוחו של חבקוק בשביל להחיות אותו באותיות של עין בית שמות. And again, he injected the letters, Elisha, the prophet, injected the letters in the spirit of Habakkuk בשביל להיות, to revive him with the power of the 72 names of God. And he named him וקרא אותו חבקוק. So some people, or some interpretation, which is also true, that why the kid's name is Habakkuk. Habakkuk comes from the word chibuk, which is hugging. Because he hugged him, and he hugged him twice, his name is Habakkuk. But the Zohar explained that actually he named him Habakkuk. Elisha, the prophet, named him Habakkuk because he talks that Habakkuk, the numerical value of his name, Habakkuk, is 216, which is, הוא משלים ומרמז לסוד 216 אותיות של השם הקדוש, כי חבקוק בגימטריה 216, שמהם נצטרפו עין בית שמות, which mean, his name Habakkuk is the numerical value 216, which is the same 216 letters that exist in the chart of the 72 names. And with this 216 letters, he revived all his existence and he revived his body. And this is why his name, Al Ken Ikra Habakkuk, and this is why his name is Habakkuk. If we will only get from this lesson that the power of the 72 name is to revive us, is to give us vitality by scanning the letters, it's I think we are done. This is the most, I believe that now you understand a little bit more that the power of the 72 name, just even scanning them, that they will enter through our eyes, that is opening to our soul to really allow us to have life and vitality in our life. No matter what we will do during the day, no matter how the best diet that we will have, no matter what exercise that we will do, no matter what actions we will do, hopefully positive actions, we still need this spiritual tool that's called the power of the 72 names, because just scanning it on a daily basis brings us vitality, connect us to a realm that it's of life, that we all need to draw from it. So whenever you feel down, whenever you feel that you don't have the power, in every sickness, just scanning the 72 names of God. Of course, each combination has certain energy, a different frequency, a certain understanding what it means. And we will share that in the future lessons of this course. But just for you to understand now that it's really so powerful, that it's bringing us really vitality into our life. And I hope that by sharing this, it's will bring us to this understanding and excitement of the 72 name. As we go to the next slide, we can see even more interesting information. We all know the power of healing combination that we have been meditating on a lot whenever we need to pray for someone for healing and for ourselves. So we'll see that there's a combination from the 72 name that it's Mem He Shin. If you'll see, it's the same letter. If we'll position them, you'll see Mem He Shin. It's Moshe. It's the name of Moses. Name of Moses is Mem He Shin. So whenever Moses had the power of healing all form of death, all form of chaos, all form of reaching to a Dead Sea, right? Everything that, and whenever we say Mem He Shin, we connect to the energy of Moses. And Moses also connects us to the energy of balance in our life. So Mem He Shin is healing, it's balance. Mem He Shin is also numerical value 345, which is the same numerical value of the word ratzon, which is desire. So when we, in good health, mentally and physically, we have a desire and a vessel to draw more light. And vice versa, when we have desire, we have certainty, we have healing. Okay, so it's very powerful to see that. With that, we're going to go to the next slide to even see more things. And this is, I will translate that. This is an explanation or learning from the Ari, from Sha'ar HaGilgulim, from the Gate of Reincarnation book. And the Ari is explaining even why Moses and why Mem He Shin and the next combination next to it, Lamed Lamed Hey, are together. Because it says here that Inyan Moshe v'Hillel HaZaken, asher shnehem shavim b'midat ha'anava. It talks about Moses and Hillel HaZaken. Hillel HaZaken has the sparks from Moses, and he was the teacher of Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, and Hillel HaZaken is known with a story that a person came to him to Bet Shammai, and he asked him, how can I learn the Torah? How can I learn the Torah on one leg? It calls it al regel achat, in one shot. So Bet Shammai says, are you crazy? I cannot teach you the whole Torah in one shot, and so immediate. You need to study a lot. So that person went to Hillel HaZaken and he told him, can you teach me the whole Torah in one shot? What can you explain about that? So Hillel HaZaken told him, sure. It's one sentence. Don't do or don't harm other person. Don't treat other person the way you don't want to be treated. So אל תעשה מה ששנוא עליך לאחרים. So this is Hillel HaZaken. And the reason that the two combination, Mem He Shin and Lamed Lamed Hey, that you will see in the next slide, you'll see they're together, because they're coming from the same spark of humbleness. Moshe Rabbeinu and Hillel HaZaken were humbled. So you see that Mem He Shin and Hillel, it's like just the letters are there, and they're. I'm just bringing this to show you that there is a reason why each combination it's next to one another. This is the position, and why on the right there's this combination, on the left, in the bottom, in the top. there's a reason for it, and hopefully we'll go through it through them in the third part of this Power of 72 name. But just to give you, it's very nice. Mem He Shin Lamed Lamed He Moshe Rabbeinu Hillel HaZaken. They both had the same spark of humbleness. They both taught the same in generation. They transfer the same information of love your neighbor as yourself and Ve'afta l'reacha kamocha. Don't treat others and treat others the way you want to be treated. It's a very powerful. So we'll see the next slide. And it's something even more interesting. We talked about Hebrew, which is Ivrit, and we talked about it that Ivrit is la'avo, it's to move on, to transfer, to move further. And there is another vayavo. It's in the same 3-letter sequences, the same seed level. Vayavo is also to move on. And what we see that Vayavo contains the letters Resh Yud Vav, which is the numerical value 216, is the 216 letters, and Ain Bet, which is the 72 name. Why am I bringing it here? Because even though the first time that the 72 name have been released to all humanity was the first time was when the Israelite departed the Red Sea, it has been revealed to all humanity. The 72 names is a knowledge that exists, as we said, from time of creation. So I just wanted to share with you, for example, who has been using the 72 names prior to that moment of the parting of the Red Sea. So I'm going to the Zohar, and you see the Zohar really just brings us all the information about the 72 names. And there's in the portion of Lech Lecha, in verse 66. In verse 66, it talks about Abraham, because Lech Lecha talks about Abraham, that he moved from one place to another, which means he moved from the place he was living in and the city he was living in. He went out from the family and the environment he already knew, and he moved to another realm or another understanding or another level of consciousness. Therefore, he became the channel of mercy to the humankind, channel of love to all humanity. And moving from one level to another level, the Zohar is explaining here, coming from the phrase Vayavor Avraham Ba'aretz. Vayavor, he transferred, like he moved in the country. And it says, the commentary is asking, what does it mean Vayavor? It should have said Vayelech, he went away. It should have said he went away, or he walked out from his familiar environment. Why it's been using, why the Torah is using the word Vayavor. And it's Ela Shu Romez, and it's actually what it means, that this is Hashem HaKadosh. This is like one of the name. This is basically the 72 names of God. It says, Kan Hashem HaKadosh shenichtam bo ha'olam be'ayin bet otiyot chakukot. Because it says Vayavor, as I showed you earlier, Vayavor is the numerical value of the 72, which is the 72 names of God, and including the 216 letters, which brings us into the word Vayavo. And he talks about Abraham, that he used the power of the 72 name to move from one level of consciousness to another level of consciousness. Because here it says Vayavo Avram, when he moved to the next level of his life, when he transferred from Avraham, he became Avraham. He added another letter to his name, right? Hey, and he became Avraham, which means he became the channel for all humanity. Therefore, when it says Vayavo, because he used the power of the 72 name to move to the next, to support him to move to the next level. So we see that there is a physical spiritual work, and there's the spiritual tools. which means he walked out from his father's house, from the environment, from the harmony that he lived in, and he moved and he went through 24 years till he became Abraham, really, that he has his first child was born, Isaac. But that process, this was a physical process that he ran out of his comfort. With that, he used, that what supported him in the process, he used the power of the 72 name. Okay, he used the power of the 72 name to move spiritually from one realm to the other realm, the highest version of him, to become the channel that he was supposed to be for all humanity. And this is only with Abraham. Let's say there's another example with Jacob. If you remember the story, that Jacob also went out from his comfort. He knew that he needed to leave the comfort place where he had all the money, he had the kids, he had the wives, he had everything, and he moved to go through a situation. And there was a time that Jacob was sleeping on the ground on a stone. He was sleeping and he had a dream. And in the dream, there were angels climbing up and down the ladder. And the ladder in Hebrew is called sulam. And sulam is the numerical value of 42, 72, and 22. 42, 72, and 22 is 136, which is the numerical value of a ladder. Basically, it shows that Jacob, he was Yaakov, and he became Israel, the channel of Tiferet, of the central column, by using the Hebrew letters, which are the 22 letters. 42 connects to the Ana Bekoach, and 72 is the 72 names. So the combination connecting to the building blocks of earth, of the DNA of our soul. And I wanted to just summarize this part by sharing, when we're talking about the spiritual tools, of the 72 names of God, and we understand it requires from us different conditions. One, that will be always in movement, right? That will be always in movement, and that we will use the power of restricting our reactive system, so we will be able to connect eventually to the realm of the tree of life reality, where we have the certainty and understanding that everything is a precise plan of my life, supporting me to reveal the diamond within, to reveal the gift that we all have. And just seeing, understanding, the 72 names that can support us and brings vitality into our life. It's so important to all of us to understand. It's really important because we have a way to create miracles. There is a way, and the Kabbalists are saying there is a way. Rav Berg has been talking about it for so long, in every lecture, in every lesson. Sometimes we're paying attention, sometimes we're not. It depends where our consciousness is. But to understand that there is a way that we can control physicality, and we can connect to move from the tree of knowledge, good and bad, and to move to the consciousness of tree of life reality. Before I finish, I want to show you two more slides, information about, just interesting about more of particular 72 name, which is, for example, the Yud Lamed Yud, which is the second one in the chart. And it's from the Ari, from Shar Ma'amarei Razal. And it says like this, that there's a story that Rabbi Chia and Rabbi Abba, the two of the students of Rabbi Shimon, fell ill, and Rabbi Jonathan went to visit him. and I'm sorry, Rabbi Chia ben Abba fell ill, and Rabbi Yonatan went to visit him, and he said to him, are you suffering? Are you suffering? And he replied to him, you know, if you're suffering, give me your hand. And he gave him his hand, and he raised him, like he give me, and he raised him. And he raised him by using the 72, one of the 72 combinations that it's called Yud Lamed Yud, which is the name that Moses used to find Joseph's coffin at that time, and also it's a name that can cure someone that is sick. So we already see that not only Mem He Shin is for healing, we'll see that also Yud Lamed Yud has another translation that it's also, Yud Lamed Yud also support people when they feel sick. And this is why the verse, give me your hand, Yihavli Yeda, which is in Aramaic, it's the initials of the sequence of Yud Lamed Yud. Just interesting to see that there are different translation and energies to each of the 72 names. And another thing that I would like to share, probably some of you know, and those who do not know, that each one of us has a personal 72 name. When we were born, besides the fact that we had the stars ready for us, and besides the fact that the parents and the environment and that we were born into to support us in the process of our correction and the process of revelation of our light, besides the birth date that we have, the Creator also gave each one of us his personal 72 name. And that I call it kind of a safety belt, the 72 names. So whenever we fall, whenever we have a question, whenever we want to know more about ourselves, our strength and weaknesses, we can connect to our 72 names. And if you wish, it's something that I'm sharing with people. People are contacting me for reading about their personal 72 names, and you're more than welcome. If you feel that it's something that you want, you can connect with me. We can go to the next slide, and it's the final information that I will share with you today. There's so much, and we'll continue next week. It's from Sefer Megale Amukot, and it really basically is explaining about the power of the letter Gimel that I shared with you from the beginning, that because הכוונה שעוד ג' מורה על גאווה גדולה, which means it really indicates that the letter Gimel, the reason that it doesn't exist in the whole chart of the 72 name, it's because it's representing of pride, and there is no pride. We cannot use the 72 name. We cannot connect to the light of the Creator, or the light that is within us when if we haven't worked on our ego, our desire for the self alone. And just like another indication and information of how we should do our spiritual work. So the next slide just will show us the chart itself, hopefully. And so this is the chart of the 72 names. Next week, we'll dive in more in understanding how it's connecting both to the astrological signs, and we will see how it's connecting to the 10 Sfirot, and we'll get some more information from different Kabbalists and different books of the Kabbalists explaining about the power of the 72 names and how it's coded in the Torah, it's coded in different blessings, it's coded into the different prayers, so we will not forget to use them. Okay, so within that, the only thing I would suggest from now to the next lesson about the 72 name, just take the chart, scan it on a daily basis from the top to bottom, and really inject livelihood, vitality into your life that will support you in the process that you're going through right now.
So I'm going to pause it right there because I don't want to lose the chart. I hope you all had an opportunity to take a screenshot. Let's see. I'll come off of this. Still grayed out. 1 second.
That's it.
Yeah. Let's see. I get
For
this to be
today,
clear for you guys.
and I'm so really excited for our next session together.
Yeah. So let's see if I can come back a little bit. Any questions? Anybody make any mental note of things that you found were very impactful? Good evening, Raquel. Thanks for joining. And I see Suzanne.
Yeah, I invited Susan.
Nice. Beautiful. Good evening, Suzanne. Welcome. So, Brother Paul.
Good evening.
Hey, good evening, Suzanne.
Yeah, I couldn't get back to my mute. Okay.
That's okay. It's okay. Welcome to our program. And yeah, you came at a very significant evening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
And I don't know how much Raquel has shared with you, how much Marcia has shared with you in regard to the 72 names, but yeah, this is a pretty much an advanced topic in Kabbalah. And there's nothing wrong with being exposed to advanced things. It's not anything that a person can't absorb. Basically, you caught you didn't catch from the beginning. You caught like about what, half hour in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is a table, a chart of energy sequences. Because each Hebrew letter is an energy unto itself. The Vav have its own energy, the He, right? The Yud here, the Lamed. So one of the things that I recommend to people is that they start to become familiar with the letters. You know, we live in an age of information where we can easily get access to this information. There's a wonderful site. It's called Hebrew for Christians. You know, just like how I have Kabbalah for Jamaicans, you have Hebrew, the number 4, and then Christians. And it gives you the whole alphabet, the 22, nice charts and things that you can print out and so forth and so on. It's also a very good site for prayers. Like, for instance, all of our prayers pretty much you can find on that site. Like especially Birkat Hamazon, which is very important to do on Shabbat. The washing of the hands, Netilat Yadayim, right? And various others. So that's a very good site to become familiar with. But this chart here, there are some of these that each one represents a different energy. What do I mean by that? For instance, this 5th one here, and it's read from right to left, as it says here. Read from right to left, this direction. Just like so Hebrew is read from right to left, opposite from English. So the chart goes this way. And when you're reading the letters, it's Vav, He, Vav. Now, this 5th one here, Mem, He, Shin. These are the actual letters in Moses' name, but shift around a little bit. It's Mem, Shin, He. That's Moshe. This is Mem, He, Shin. Kabbalah teaches that words that have the same letters, even though they may be turned around, if they have the same numerical value, they have the same essence, the same power, same energy behind it. Again, it's all about energy. And if you've heard in the past that the universe was made by mathematics, that's actually pretty accurate, because the Zohar tells us that the whole universe was made by the Hebrew letters. And each Hebrew letter has a numerical value. So therefore, it's really all about numbers, in truth. So this particular one, Mem He Shin, is used for healing. Right? We can meditate. If we know somebody who's ill, we can meditate on the energy of the sequence, Mem He Shin, and sending it to the person. Because really how it works is that each one of these combinations is a vessel. It's a vessel to attract a certain type of light. The Mem He Shin is a vessel for healing light, light that heals. Kaf He Taf, this one here at the end, is a vessel for cleansing of negative energy, especially places. Right? Kaf He Taf. Very powerful. They used to use this to clean the temple, the holy temple. This one here, Samek Aleph Lamed. This one is used for prosperity. The energy in here, the energy of these letters, the numerical value of these letters, and what they signify, is a vessel for prosperity. Vav Membet. This
now
one right
to
here.
the next
Vav Membet. This one is used when we want to drink water, when we want to restore water to its purification state, its healing, natural healing state, before man corrupted it. We can use this Vav Membet for drinking water. Even when you're bathing, I meditate on the water. It's like I'm creating a filter, activating the water. Its healing properties and its natural original properties. Yud Yud Zion, this one over here. This one is a vessel for speaking the right words. So let's say you're going into a very important meeting, or you want to have a conversation with somebody. You need to have a very difficult conversation and you don't know the words. Instead of just praying to the Creator to give you the right words, you meditate on the sequence, Yud Yud Zion. And again, that is a vessel for drawing the right words to be spoken. So each one of these have a different purpose. And, we have books that teach you what it can be used for what, and so forth and so on. Some of them are duplicated. Like at least two of them appear in here twice. This one here, Vav He Vav, appears here, it appears here. And there's another one that appears twice as well. Any questions, anyone? Welcome back, Stinger. Did you take
Is there
a screenshot of this table? Yeah, you should take a screenshot. I'm going to do is make this here.
Yeah, you take a screenshot earlier.
Oh, you took a screenshot. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. It's Yeah. Okay. Good. So yeah, this is the power of what we study. Now, does this seem like religion to you? I mean, this is science. This is science. And again, here are some of the lesson highlights. Susan, you can review this. But also, you can also go back to the. I suggest that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then you can go back, and you can replay the entire program from YouTube. All right. Have you received the Zohar yet, Suzanne?
I have one copy. The master gave me a copy.
Awesome, very good. And you don't leave home without it, right?
I gotta get another one. She just told me she's gonna give me another one because I can't find the one I had.
Okay, all right. Yep, you gotta get one. You gotta
Mhm.
get one. Keep it with you. She have a. I'm sure she must have told you a ton of her Zohar stories.
She sure has.
Okay.
It's so fun that you ask her about the pinker sim because I just said to her today, where is it?
Ah!
She said, I say, yeah, Bishop. I said, where is it? I
You
said, because
see?
everybody have this. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna bring her some because she needs to have them everywhere, all over.
S-
I just said that to her today.
okay. Where is Susan located?
North Carolina.
Okay, okay, okay. All right. Yeah, man. Let me
But
tell
don't
you.
Worry, she go get them.
Yeah,
She
man.
yeah.
No, me not worried.
Yeah, we talk every day, all
I
day.
know
I
you
got
got her.
her.
Yes. Good, good, good.
Yeah.
You know what? I we could offer to send her the POK 1 through 6 classes. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, I can send that to her. Also, if you'd like her to join the K4J group, which I
Yes.
highly
Yes.
recommend. You
Yes.
know. Yeah. Let's do that. I'll send you the link that you can send to her. All right.
All right.
Mm-hmm. And then she can
You
join.
know, Susan used to join before,
I remember the name, man, and
Yeah.
yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, welcome back, Suzanne. um.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You know, this wisdom is needed more so now than ever. Okay. More so now than ever. Why? Well, unless you've been living under a rock somewhere, you can see the madness that is happening, not only in this country, but in the world. And one of the promises of the Creator, and I've proven this, and I'm sure Raquel, you can say the same thing, is that the connection to this energy creates a force field of protection around you. Right? It creates a force field of protection around you and your loved ones, your family. So that for the most part, you guys are protected from the chaos that is happening around the world. And that's what I want. You know, yes, I want the world to be a better place. Yes, I'm doing my part to try to make the world a better place. But while that is happening, I want to live secure. I want me and my family to be secure. You know? And that's what this does for me. It's a science that gives me the ability to enjoy this life without fear, without anxiety, with knowing that the Creator's got my back, my needs will be met, and I will excel, and I will be able to tap into abundance, not just have my needs met, right? But abundance, so that I can help others. Because the more I have is the more I will help others.
Susan, what that sound like? Same conversation we had this morning.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's it.
Same exact conversation we had this morning.
Look at that. You see? There you go.
Oh God.
There you go. Wonderful. Yeah, man, it's good to know when you're in tune, you know? Yeah, that's what it's all about. So, and this wisdom helps me accomplish it. Um, it gives me certainty beyond logic. Right? Certainty beyond logic. And in these times, hey, so began watching news without getting overwhelmed. Right? We can say it's a movie. Because of the wisdom and the understanding, we can still have compassion and empathy for people when they go through them hardships. But I won't get overwhelmed. Because we understand, say, the thing have to play out. And everybody have to be responsible for their own actions. And when things come back and reach them, yeah, we can have compassion and empathy. But yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff shall comfort me. So yeah, this is what we offer. This is what we teach. And Raquel, I know you have plenty of testimony if you say, yeah.
Man, yeah, man.
Like
You
this.
know, I was telling Susan this morning about that. I said, that's my prayer. My go-to, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not walk. No, seriously.
Really?
You were in conversation this morning over our just talking the same exact thing.
Wow.
When we said the same things, where you said, it's like, and what I said to Susan, I said, Susan, you see when you pray and just step back,
Yeah, man.
God just bring it come to you just
Wow.
like that.
Yes.
Just bring it come to you.
Yes.
And it just honestly, it's just like I'm getting goosebumps because when I say Joshua, the exact same thing, me and this woman, and I just text her now because I was on my we read the book that we were reading, and then I saw your message, and I just texted and I said, Susan, jump on the call.
Oh, the good thing I said it then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And I just like, this is just like confirmation, Susie.
It has been. It is.
Yes, I love confirmation.
We really were talking all this morning about these
All
things.
of this morning. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So,
I mean,
thank you, Creator. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you.
Because that is it. I mean, really and truly, because guess what? I mean, boy, I tell you, people really stubborn. And you know something? You see, all the stories about the Israelites in the Old Testament is us, It's us. Not them, Not them. It's us. Because they are a microcosm of us.
Us, yeah.
And I truly believe that Jamaicans are the original Israelites. Because me not see nobody more just like it in stiff neck. Stiff neck. Covetous. Bad mind. All the things.
That's how we have them in our vocabulary.
Oh. Seriously. So that's why we are needed in Jamaica, right? Please spread the word. We got to spread the word to more people. More people have to hear this because more people need to be set free. Because really and truly, this is where you experience, you shall know the truth and it shall set you free. Really, this is it. This is where it's at. And for those of you who are new to it, listen, just stick with it. Just stick with it. And Stinger, I know you're on, and I know you. We only met in November, end of October, November, for a couple of days. And you pick up on the energy, you get your Zohar, and you are experiencing the light and the energy from it. You have plenty of testimony on that already. Please share it with other people. Let other people know, because one thing about Jamaicans.
Yes, man.
You tell them about something where you have a good, them want it to. Eh?
They never share it with them, know what's going on.
Yeah, well, them have to go see. But you see, them have to go see it,
Me can't go show them, As what me say, like how you show me and me experience,
And see, when I say seat, them have to go see it in your life.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? That is the testimony. Right? Because if you talk to them about truth and your life now show it, then why should they listen to you?
Why should they? They must say, "Show team,"
So, and I'm telling you, you're going to see things start turn up for you, really. Because another thing that has to follow wisdom is abundance and sustenance, right? Because that's what brings the abundance and the sustenance. It's the wisdom, is how to live, knowing how to live in this world, right? So if we can take the spiritual principles and live, because that's the whole idea, to take the spiritual principles and live properly and successfully in this life. That's what it's all about. So, and a person who claims to be spiritual, you should see it in their life, all the areas of their life, including their finances. You know, now we're all a work in progress, but that is how you know that, you know, you are maturing, because it's spilling over into all areas of your life. You know, and one of the mistakes that a lot of people make is they separate spirituality from actual living and the world of physicality, and they think that the laws of spirituality don't apply. All right? Well, they're wrong. And again, I bring you back to the promises of the Creator. The Creator said, if you will follow my laws, if you will follow my statutes, if you will follow my way, it will be good for you. He will make it rain when it's supposed to rain. Your crops will grow when it's supposed to grow. And he will not let the spoiler come to you. These are the promises. These are the promises. And the moment mankind begins to recognize that cause and effect, that the world is built upon a framework of cause and effect, meaning that when things occur in their life, it's only because of a previous past action that they performed. Were other people involved in it? Quite possibly. But you brought yourself into the situation to begin with, somehow. You have to take responsibility, and that's one of the hardest things for people to do. But the moment you begin to do that, man, then the universe opens up, because now you can listen. And you know, it's so interesting. Throughout the Old Testament, when the Creator is saying that we should follow his commandments, he says that we should listen more than we should do. He says, if you will hear my voice, if you would just listen. One of the most powerful prayers, the Shema, hear, O Israel, the Lord. Hear, listen, ears. And one of the most powerful connections that we do on a Shabbat is to listen to the Torah. Listen. And do nothing. Listen. Just listen. Learn to listen. I'm sure we've all heard that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. We must listen twice as more than we talk. But most of us don't do that. And if we listen, we don't listen properly. Because there's an art to listening. There's an art to taking the sense out of the nonsense. But yeah, you know, as we're coming to the top of the hour, I want to invite all of our listeners to join us on Saturdays to listen to the Torah reading, lecture and Torah reading, the whole Shabbat connection. All right, because the Sabbath is on Saturday, not Sunday. Saturday. The Catholic Church and the Christians change it from Saturday to Sunday for their own reasons. But the energy of Shabbat begins sundown Friday through to sundown Saturday. It's actually 25 hours. And Connecting to the Torah, listening to the Torah, reading on Saturday is one of the best investments you can make in your life. Because just listening to the Torah in Hebrew alone, even though you don't intellectually understand Hebrew, let your ears hear it, let your soul connect to it, and let the vibratory sound of the letters change you at your DNA level, because that's what it does. When the sound hits against our eardrums and vibrates in our bones, it changes us. That's its power. So all you have to do is listen. Just listen. So I encourage you. So on Saturdays, if you want to get the link, check out our website, Kabbalah4Jamaicans.com, or send me a text on WhatsApp. My number is country code +1 516 965 5700. Again, country code +1 516 965 5700. If you'd like to get your free copy of a Zohar, contact us. We'll get it to you no matter where you're in the world, especially if you're in Jamaica. Especially. And keep listening, because that's how you learn. And we're all in learning mode. I have been at this for 18 years and I'm still in learning mode, because you're forever learning. Forever learning. Because we don't reach a finish line yet, and until we reach a finish line, we still are learning. So we need to make the most of our time here. And don't think that we have forever. We don't. Time is of the essence, friends. And with that, I wish you to have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the week. I want to thank my listeners, Sister Myrtle, Brother Paul in Jamaica, Sister Raquel, Stinger, and Suzanne. Thank you all for joining. And hey, we're here every Tuesday and Wednesday. It's great when you're here. It's great when it's a talk show. It's great when you share. And especially when you ask questions.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Raquel.
Bye, hon. Bye,
Suzanne.
Good night.
Blessings to you.
Thank you guys for having me.
No, you're welcome anytime, my dear. Okay?
See you next week.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Good night, everyone. And those of you listening on World Vibes Radio, once again, we're here every Tuesday and Wednesday night, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern. Sunday and Tuesday nights, 10:30 p.m., where we read 30 minutes of Zohar. Again, the number here at the studio is country code +1 516 965 5700. Again, country code +1 516 965 5700. Yes. And again, it's a very, very powerful